Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thank you for your time. Ceasefires are always very tricky affairs. And when there is a conflict or when there is instability on border for decades, then ceasefires cannot be implemented within 48 hours or within days, at times within weeks or at times within months also. The issue is if both sides have realized that this is not the way to go forward, and with a mediator on the table who has had a very strong relationship with both sides, then you can say that in this ceasefire agreement, there is a promise. And that promise can be realized, which is realizable, when the details are worked out, when both the sides sit with another very trusted partner, that is Turkey, where the details would be sorted out. So what I would say to sum it up is that ceasefire may be fragile today, but there is a great hope that it will transform into a broader understanding between Pakistan and Afghanistan to draw a line on the past and live in ways which are more promising for people on both sides. Right. This has been a consistent position by taken by the Afghan government. But the issue is, despite this position of Afghan government, everyone and anyone who is observing Afghanistan, the internal dynamics of Afghanistan, from international forums to international institutions, to many organizations in EU, UN Security Council, the countries in the neighborhood, they all acknowledge Pakistan's position. Now, their defense minister on his return to Kabul, if he gives this statement, it is worrying, but it shouldn't be taken as something as status quo from their side. They have their own internal difficulties, as they point out. We've got to see he has made this statement for whom, who is the audience. The sort of government they are in, the internal fissures within the TTA, it, I think, would be rather tricky for any spokesperson of TTA or any minister or any leader from the TTA to go back from what they have been saying for decades. So you can take it that this is a position taken by him for the people of Afghanistan. It is not a position, I would say, which is now sort of going back from the commitments which they have made at Doha. Doha has had huge influence on them for the last 14, 15 years. They have provided them a forum. They have connected them with the international community, with erstwhile ISAF, with the NATO, with the US. They've played great facilitator role for TTA in the past. So it won't be something like totally taking a U-turn and going back from what they have discussed at the table. So for some time, we got to live with this statement. I don't think there should be any strong reaction from Pakistan side to this. The proxy war, or you can say as it manifests across the border, is crossing of militant groups in smaller numbers, ordinarily known as tashkils. Well, that has been the main issue. The way there has not been only encouragement for last few months, active participation by TTA and by the Afghan nationals in those tashkils. Now, we got to see in the coming days whether the number of border crossings by these groups, whether it goes down, it goes up, it remains where it was, and then we would be in a position to draw conclusions whether the ceasefire has had some effect or not. So I would say it is too early to say whether we're going back to pre-hostilities situation in the same manner, or there is going to be some visible, some tangible improvement in days to come. In my humble opinion, there is huge Indian influence because India on one side is indicating to them a lot of investments. India is indicating to them participation in rebuilding a lot of infrastructure in Afghanistan, promising them a stronger relationship in the region and beyond, and hence the Indian influence, which is sort of unchecked. Another very important thing is the contributing factor is lack of will, complete absence of will on part of TTA leadership to come good on the promises they had made with international community, not only with Pakistan at Doha back in 2021. And the absence of will to go against TTP is primarily to accommodate Indian influence and then to use TTP as a leverage to force Pakistan to let them enjoy what they have enjoyed in the past when it comes to the interaction with Pakistani societies, which was unchecked, whether it be trade, whether it be ATT, whether it be border crossings, everything was informal, unchecked, and we have had very serious consequences of that. So they want, in these 3-4 areas, a status quo, which is not acceptable to Pakistan, and Pakistan has indicated to them clearly in the last 4 years that you got to live with us like any neighbor in the international system and not the old ways. So that's where the issue is. They want the old ways, and Pakistan has put its foot down that it got to be whatever interaction you want to have with us, it got to be according to international norms, international law, and international practices. It is now up to the Afghan leadership, the TTA leadership, for them to undertake a dispassionate analysis and find out what is good for the people of Afghanistan. In years and decades ahead, their alliance with TTP offers a better promise for the well-being of the people of Afghanistan, or a peaceful coexistence with Pakistan, a stronger partnership with Pakistan. What gives them better promise for the progress and well-being of their own people? This is a critical decision which they've got to take. And this would call for a transition of the mindset from the leaders of that guerrilla movement, that movement which went on for 20 years, now which must transit to statesmanship. That transition is not visible as of today. But let's hope that in days to come, in years ahead, we see that transition and the TTA leadership takes decisions which are in the larger interest of Afghan people and not only in the interest of TTP. Well, ordinarily, before making such a change, a mediator would consult both the parties. I don't know whether that consultation has taken place or not, but being a Pakistani, I would say that whatever position they take on Pakistan-Afghanistan border, TTA or people of Afghanistan, it should not worry us much. It would remain an irritant, but this is an international border which is recognized as per international law. It is recognized as per any provisions in the UN Charter. If somebody across the border takes a different position, it does not dilute what can be legally established and what is legally very clear in the international arena. They may keep calling it whatever they want to call it. It is an international border which has now been fenced and which the state of Pakistan has told them, we won't let it stay porous the way it was for decades in the past. Yeah. Pakistan has shown them a very clear intent that if you don't go after them, we will. So let's hope that even I would say, let's hope for a situation where even TTA is not required to go hard against them. They can manage them. They have such influence. They have such authoritative regime that if they want to control them, if they want to disarm them, they can do it before and without even undertaking a major operation against them. So if they demonstrate a will, and if they understand the demand of our neighbor who has stood with us for decades is fair, is legitimate, is reasonable, then they have means to control TTP, BLA, and likes of these organizations through approaches which would be short of going hard against them with military operations, etc. Well, anybody observing Afghanistan today would know that none of their neighbors offers them that kind of connectivity and that kind of options for sustenance of daily life, even the way Pakistan offers. None. You look towards the north, northeast, east, none. So Pakistan is far more important to them compared to the importance Pakistan has for Afghanistan. We are critical to their even routine sustenance. So when it comes to leverages, well, those are plenty with Pakistan. It is up to the leadership how and when they want to utilize those leverages sequentially, all at one time. It is a decision by the leadership, and we have witnessed now in the recent days a resolve which is very encouraging, I would say, and very different from the past. So I think the leverages would be used smartly by the leadership on our side. That's where the question is. That's what TTA has to mull over. The issue is extension of CPEC, which in the tripartite arrangement has been indicated to TTA. It's a huge offer. And similarly, what can be coming to them in decades to come in the form of north-south connectivity when it gets manifested in its true sense and in big ways. So the TTA got to measure what is on the offer from initiatives like CPEC and north-south connectivity for the people of Afghanistan. Yes, for the people of Pakistan as well. And when, if there is a benefit, economic benefit, if there is a promise for progress of both the societies, it would be criminal on part of leadership of the TTA to let it go just for keeping their alliance alive with TTP, BLA, etc., etc. It would be a very bad decision on their part. But there is no guesswork required for it. Pakistan has demonstrated it. We should not be foreseeing a situation, assuming a situation where there will be a full-scale war on the western border. Neither there is a potential on the other side, nor there is a likelihood that the situation would go towards that side. But whatever disturbances like skirmishes we've had, there are people who are terming it as the events of last 1 week as war on western border. It isn't. So it doesn't qualify to be a war academically or in any sense of it. But such type of skirmishes, armed forces of Pakistan have the potential to handle those with minimal resources while concentrating on the eastern border. Let us narrow it down. Pakistan won't be, I think, compelled to escalate it, because what they're going to do, as has been made clear by the speech in PMA, speech by the Field Marshal, they are going to be tough, punitive, event-specific responses. And we saw its manifestation. There was an event of suicide bombing in Mir Ali, and the Hafiz Gul Bahadur group owned it, and Pakistani armed forces went hard against his sanctuary. So there are going to be such type of event-specific responses, which would curtail the freedom of action of TTP instead of allowing them freedom of action.